I'm gonna rip it, Poppin'. I'm gonna do it. No, Kane, don't rip it.
Sauce.
So 17-year-old Valorant pro Canzerra has recently received a 12-month hardware ban from Riot, and this is an official statement from the organization he was signed under. Envy, a pretty big organization in esports. They've been around forever, and this has kind of sent the Valorant community into a bit of a frenzy. The statement reads, "We have been informed that Canzerra has received a 12-month hardware ban from Riot Games after a careful review of Kane's behavior while playing Riot's games." So I'm guessing he was probably just playing Valorant ranked or whatever when this happened. They found multiple violations of their TOS. This was not a ban for cheating. This break of terms of service comes with penalties that impact his ability to play on the Envy roster, pretty much saying that they terminated his contract and he can no longer play under them. Now, Canzerra has made his statement as well, apologizing, saying he made a serious mistake, saying that he did something he deeply regrets, which honestly I do believe. And then he just talks about how he's just been grinding this game really hard and really wants to take it serious and, go pro. And when he comes back, he just wants to, commit to the game again. Now, he actually has a lot of people defending him for a couple reasons. One, there's a lot of people thinking that his career just got destroyed over one word, right? But as you know, that can't be possible because this says multiple violations of breaking their TOS. So I'm guessing this is just not a one-time ordeal. And in fact, we know that he kind of has a history with saying things weirdly in the past. And if we back out of this tweet, we'll see a quote retweet from his teammate Poppin saying, "Unbelievable decision from Riot Games," which is hilarious to me because he's not the only one saying something similar to this. There are a lot of other people in the Valorant community pretty much saying that he should not have gotten a 12-month hardware ban for saying things like this in ranked, and that it is very weird of them to ban him and go this hard on him during the twilight of his career. Because if you are unaware, Poppin is about a month and a half from turning 18 and probably becoming a tier 1 pro. But none of this defense makes a lot of sense to me, because if you're like Poppin or you're just someone that's around Valorant teams or Valorant organizations, you should be aware that you are not just a reflection of yourself. You also reflect the people around you and your organization as well. Like, even a middle school football coach will tell you, when you are doing certain things, you don't represent only yourself. You represent everybody around you. Like, Kane not only represents Envy themselves, but you also represent Valorant esports in general. So even if it wasn't a hardware ban, which I'm guessing he got banned through the system's automatic detection in game, not through anything else. It's not like it was a random Twitch clip of him and then he got banned from that. I'm guessing this happened offline and he either got reported for saying things in game, or, the automatic in-game voice detection thing that they have now just picked it up and, hit him with that consequence. But it looks even worse on paper, because if you go back to about a year ago, he had already had allegations from his ex-girlfriend saying that he was saying racist things. And, there was a bunch of other sexual assault allegation things within that, but I'm not really here to get into that. That was a year ago and I don't know enough about that case. But if you put all of this information together, the fact that he got a 12-month hardware ban, the things you have to be saying in game to get a ban that long has to be insane. And then you add the fact that you already had people having to tell you to not say certain things and to stop making certain jokes, doesn't really help your case at all. This is literally Poppin right here, a year ago, almost on the dot, saying, "I don't condone the type of jokes he was making, and I tell Kane myself to never say things like this." So it's a very interesting situation, especially when this is the same guy saying that this is an unbelievable decision from Riot Games. You already knew the type of person he was, and yes, I do think he can change. I don't think this makes him a bad person forever. But how many more times would something like this have to happen before you actually get the idea in your head that this is probably an okay response from Riot? And obviously he has the random weirdos on Twitter that are ruining a teenager's career for saying stupid things on a video game. People really forgot what CSGO and COD was like. You wouldn't survive in a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Come on, bro. It's 2026, gang. And then, honestly, this was just pretty funny. A tweet from Trick Val, who is, I'm not gonna lie, been terrorizing Valorant for years. He's sitting here saying the community only becomes active and very opinionated when something negative happens. But at the same time, somehow, some way, he managed to call that this guy would get canceled on this exact day. I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. And this is proof that he was replying to Kane, by the way. Replying to Trick Val, Canzerra, and Era FPS. The only 3 people that could possibly be in this reply chain. So it's like, how did he call this almost to the hour? But to me, the dumbest part of this whole situation is that Canzerra already had to have that fear in his heart of being caught for saying something crazy after this situation with his ex, right? Like, you have to be sitting here scared for your career when your ex is throwing serious accusations at you while you're trying to go pro. Yet you still choose to hop on ranked and act this way. You are 6 weeks from turning 18 and having one of the coolest jobs on the planet. Sitting down and playing the game. That's all you have to do. But for some reason, you have to say slurs? Like, how, bro? Like, is there a virus in your body? Is there a tapeworm in your body saying, like, you gotta rip it? You gotta rip it. Like, come on, bro. Like, this kid must have seriously had the devil on his shoulder talking in his ear. Now, there are some of the people, like, defending him that I kind of have to agree with a little bit. There are so many degenerates that say and do way worse things on this game without any consequence. So it is kind of crazy that Kane caught such a hard ban. Like, I literally saw a clip, I think a couple weeks ago, that someone was like named Riot Hard R or something like that. Something crazy. And somehow he was just going on Twitch streams and just terrorizing people for like a week. But like, that guy should have been banned in 24 hours. In fact, his name should not have even gotten past the censorship. But at the same time, I don't like that people are acting like this was just a one-time thing. Like, they said multiple violations of terms of service, which is like, okay, one, yeah, maybe give them a little 3-month ban, 6-month ban. But like multiple? Okay, now a year is fair to me. Because originally I was going to get on here and say a year is a pretty harsh punishment, even if he said something kind of crazy. But like, this is multiple? I don't know. But like, at the end of the day, Riot did not ruin his career by banning him. He ruined his career. Do I think he should be permanently stopped from competing? No. This kid has been grinding forever. And honestly, that really doesn't even matter now that I'm saying it out loud. It doesn't matter how many hours you put on this game. If you go against terms of service, you win against terms of service. Actually, now that I'm rereading his statement, during that time of putting 10 hours a day grinding ranked, I've acted immaturely. So he's not even saying that this was like a one-time thing himself. He is literally openly admitting during his time in ranked, he has been saying crazy things. So I'm assuming this is just built up over time and he just finally caught a real punishment for it. So to sit here and defend him when he's not even defending himself is a little bit ludicrous to me. So at the end of the day, there shouldn't be two sides of this argument. He made a mistake. Now he has to live with it. There's no reason to defend him. He was literally talking crazy in ranked for what seems to be a long time. And his advocate with one of the biggest platforms out of all of his defenders was one of the ones telling him a year ago that he needs to chill out. Maybe you should have hopped on there and told him to stop ripping slurs in ranked. Because I know y'all were queuing together to get that synergy up. I mean, I've seen the gameplay. Y'all are pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, there's not too much else to say about this situation. Kane, I hope you come back better than ever, truly. I hope you learn from your mistakes, finally. I know what it's like. I mean, we've all been young, said crazy things, but, you know, it's a little different when you represent a giant organization and you have a massive platform. So, I'll catch you guys later. Until next time. I just saw this tweet from Prod too, saying that he's confused, like, why he can't, like, stream the game for an entire year alongside this ban. And it's like, you have to think about, like, sponsors and just representation, right? If they know for a fact that they're letting people with a massive platform get away with things like this, and then still streaming the game and, like, being partnered with Valorant, sponsors aren't gonna like that. I don't think this is a hard thing to understand.